Okay, we're back. Everyone else back? We got food? We good? I have storybook. And then we'll pick out paints here in a little bit. I grabbed some chips, but I will wait until after we read our story. Got water and chips, and I think we're good. I'm not super hungry. Alright. So obviously, if we're gonna read the story, I'm gonna put a spoiler warning. So if you guys are doing your expansions, don't want to see the story for Slenderman, this is your warning that there will be story spoilers. Got breakfast right now? Sounds good, Ravenlord. What you got? I grabbed some baked barbecue chips. Anything else can wait till after stream. Alright, we ready? So if you guys have not done one of the expansions, so you do get a little bit of a explanation on how to add them into the game. So it is a campaign. I'm going to mute for a second. Okay, I think we're good. No protest noted. Rudo's got a bowl of oatmeal crisp cereal. Obligatory maple flavor, because Canada. I love maple. She barking. Okay, so if you guys have not done one of the expansions for Kingdom Death, it does come with a book with how to add them in. So it is a campaign game. So there are certain events that happen each game year, which is essentially like a gameplay loop. So he would be coming in at a certain time, and it tells you when to do all that. It does come with different cards and different mechanics for the expansion, so it has all that listed. And then kind of more notes as you kind of go. Streaming done, play. It's Sub Sunday, Sadie. Sadie Sunday. But then you get all this really badass art, and I'm going to have to zoom out so you guys can see all of it. So this is the story. So again, if you don't want spoilers, if you want to do the Slenderman stuff on your own, maybe mute here for a couple minutes, but I want to read through the story and go through the art with you guys. Because it might have some inspiration here for us. Alright, it's already here. There's a story about a darkness so dense and so deep, anyone who saw it is drawn into its inky depths. The story tells of a vast ocean, in the depths of the darkness from which no shore is ever visible. Its murky waters teem with vegetation of a horrible sort, grasping roots and wavy, slimy leaves with razor-sharp thorns. Swimming among the dark water jungles is a squirming shadow of writhing tentacles. Its horror is such a burden on the minds of miserable trespassers that they cannot recall what they have seen. A chilling dread without form, the terror of its approach can be felt so intensely it cannot be committed to memory. Right. When she emerged from the dark water pool, she was shivering, desperately trying to speak as she choked on a black pepper. Trying this again. Her pleading eyes desperately searched our faces until they were suddenly widened with horror as she looked out into the emptiness. Bitter black tears rolled down her defeated face. She was too late. That doesn't look good at all. She fell slack at our feet, her lifeless body twisting and exploding in a shower of black ichor and red gore. Where did she come from? What did she give her life to tell us? The feeling of dread that followed her to the settlement would not lift. And there's the end of our story. And then that leads into the story event. So that is in the game itself, what you do at that point. Cards and things are added. And then you get this really this scary image. You can see him there. Yeah, no, just no. We're done. Out. And then the actual encounter is called a showdown. So that is, for those who have not played Kingdom Death, you get a map with how to set up the board. So you have the survivors, which are the players. You have the boss, and then you have different terrain pieces that you set. So on the game board itself, there's a grid, and you use that to set up the encounter. And then there's different cards and things that are adjusted depending on your campaign. Every time I want to show you something cool, Sadie freaks out. More art. And then a story event. I think this is really cool of Slenderman, but obviously it would be a weird thing to paint. But that's kind of the only colors we get. So there's not like a true art card for him in here. Some more cool art. Some more story events. And then what our poor lady saw. And more story events. And that's it. Dunsies. So now all that's left is... I can hear there's a car out front, but I don't know why it's freaking her out so badly. And now it's time to paint Slenderman. But that's why I have a hard time with some of the color schemes, is there's not really a... There is an art card for him for the resin version. But within the book itself, not a lot to go off of. Our buddy used to hear sirens a long time before good. I can hear her. There's a car up front, but she's freaking out more than normal. But you're right. There could be something else too. Okay, so my plan was the browns, the creams, and then some creepiness for the outside bits. So I think let's just start there. Let's get some browns on. Let's start the creepy skin tones, and we'll go from there. Get at the creams that I mentioned out. There's a specific brown I wanted to use, and I don't remember where I put it. It's kind of like dryad bark, but... Here's Sadie barking. Also dogs on the street outside my house barking while they go on walkies. Everyone's barking. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I'm just picking out paints. I guess we can go ahead and start with the brown. See what we think. I understand when people put their dogs into the enclosed porch. They can bark outside. Alright, well, we get some base coats. What's everyone up to this afternoon? I guess my other question, do you guys want me to build my Combat Patrol on stream? Or do we not? We want to see painting. This would be for my Emperor's Children. Do we want to build together, or should I go ahead and do that on my own? It would be this box right here. So I get a Hellbrute, I get a bunch of Space Marines, and I get the Dark Apostle, and then the Champion down there. Is that Guild Wars 2? End of stream, we're going to play our Sunday Magic the Gathering. Maybe get a bunch of Necrons Custodies in after. Never did the first one. Do you have bits? I just have what's in the box. I won't be kit bashing or anything, no. Hard mode on the challenge. Only work on your Combat Patrol on stream. It will be on a few streams, yeah. We'll definitely take a few to work on it. I don't want to restrict myself. So if I feel like working on it one night, I'd like to be able to do that. But I think this brown is going to be just what we need. He does have details on his little creepy cloak thing, but I'll get those after. If you want to build some on stream, go for it. But you don't have to do all of it, maybe. It's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe we pick some of the more interesting stuff. I just knock out the easier stuff. I never know if people want to see build streams or not. I feel like for someone who's just getting started, a build stream can be good because they can ask questions, but I never know. Guild Wars 2, another expansion coming out. I never played End of Dragons. I didn't know they were still doing stuff for Guild Wars 2. We tried it a while back. It didn't click with me. So Aaron says, I prepped all my sub-assemblies for priming. Trying to decide if I get them all done now or prime them after work tomorrow. I can just do the Hellbrute Duder. That's the one I'm interested in. I think that would be one I'd... Like that and the characters, I think, if I brought them on. Like the basic space... Chaos Space Marines, probably not. Those are pretty easy. Sly says, I'm calling it now. No more hobby till after holiday. I'm weird, I know, but I enjoy build streams. I think more people... Like, I feel like I've had better numbers with them lately. And I think maybe it's because people are hopping in with 10th. And, like, are new to the hobby. So seeing someone building is good for them. Before, it was rough. Before, it was rough. I mean, I have an Agents of the Imperium patrol on my shelf judging me, but I don't want to attempt the 35 miniatures inside. I don't know what color I want those sleeves. I want to do the stripies, but I don't know if I want to do the, like, socks stripy or the... I guess we could do both. We could just stripey the heck out of him. Let's just do this for now. Is the Hellbrute an easy build or a full build? I believe it's a full build. They're all, I think, normal builds. Whenever people mention MMOs, I always get cravings for Guild Wars 2. So specific and so neat. I also didn't get to End of Dragons. Sounds like some catching up to do. Yeah, I don't know. We tried it and it didn't... It was fine. But it didn't click with me. Apostle, Apothecary, whatever he is. Oh, the guy with the book. Yeah, I feel like if I ever brought him on stream, it would be those. The Hellbrute, the Apostle. Maybe the Champion if we still have time. Those more like character models. Dark Angels Combat, or sorry, Dark Angels Patrol is priced the way it is due to the more detailed, build models. I guess we'll find out when we open the box. I guess we'll find out. I have so many unpainted models. You can always join us. There's a, I don't know if you know, there's a combat patrol challenge that a lot of us are doing to paint said models. I don't know if you've heard about it. Unbuilt too. Nothing has met the Star Wars Galaxy's potential. You want some lumen? My man is trying to offload these lumina. I respect it. Respect it. It's like even I haven't even really painted Lumineth. I painted the one boy, the suit of armor for the mini exchange, and that's all I painted of Lumineth, I think. I think that's all I've done. I was a moisture farmer and I liked it. I think you've mentioned this before. That sounds vaguely familiar. I just have not played it, so I have nothing to add. But I think I remember you mentioning that. Molly, hey. Jesus. These dogs are real cute, but they are on my nerves this week. I'm all mommed out this week with the dogs. I'm done. You interested? I know you love elves. I am not. I'm sorry. I have Seraphon and Slanesh. And now some new Skaven to paint. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, Scouse. It was your first MMO slot. I have a Custodes Combat Patrol worth of unbuilds. Could join us. Let's see. It was amazing in so many ways. Player housing, player run economy. Exalted. I can give you the solution, but you might not like it. We're trying to help you out here. trying to help. Are black shoes with this gonna clash? Maybe we stick to the brown. Stick with brown. I don't know the rules. I feel like it's gonna clash. Let's stick to brown. If someone unlocked a Jedi, they increase the difficulty for the next unlock. Oh, you unlock Jedi? 2024 Nikki will start Lumineth Army, and wish that 2023 Nikki got a sick deal. If I didn't have a Seraphon army that needed love, I would think about it. But my lizards have to come first. Oh my god. I know. I need to commission Scott to paint them, right? No. You can, in fact, join us with the Combat Patrol Challenge. It is one of two solutions, true. If that is, it is another route. What if I told you you could paint them yourself? I have a friend who offered me a huge amount of Primera stuff for real cheap. Now I'm debating how much bigger my hobby pile can get before it crushes me under it. Just do what I do, Ravenlord. And Avian has a similar technique. You see that closet back there? My backlog's in there. Guess how often I have to look at it. There's Warhammer in there. There's Malifaux in there. There's Kingdom Death's in a different closet, which I don't want to talk about, because that's an entirely new backlog. But yeah, you just find a spot like that and you put it right there. You had to do a series of skill trees and classes. It's been a while. So you did all these achievements. You got the ability to make a Jedi. That's really cool, though. The next person had a harder time to make one. Oh, so even a different person, not you. So like the 10th person getting Jedi, it would be much harder for. That's kind of nuts. Oh my god. That sounds fake. Me? Paint? You can. You can, in fact. Pick up a brush. Pick up some paint. And put it on the model yourself. So you open the closet one day and it falls on top of you. Just get really good at packing the closet. I have solutions. Kingdom Death in a different closet? I was gonna call you out. No way your backlog fits in one. No, it doesn't. I'm so sorry about Sadie. The Kingdom Death is in a whole separate plastic tub that has to go in another closet. Plus part of our game room. So, yeah. The whole 50 Shades of Kingdom Death closet. Yeah. It's a little different for Kingdom Death. Exalted says, I've seen your painted models. You can't lie on this stream. That's right. Where did dog go? Okay, she's actually in her bed. Sadie barking is cute. I'm glad you think so. It's really aggravating on our end some days. Alright. I think it's time to start the squeedly stuff. Yeah. Because we need that brown to dry before I can do a whole lot more. First, I need to eat some chips because I'm hungry. And I'm sorry if the crunching is too much, but I need a snack. Aspi says, one thing I noticed about my custodies, they're shadow keepers. They're so dark on the table they need more differentiation. Not done anyway, but I need to do a brighter spot color or something. Even just like a higher highlight on a metallic can help too. I know they're mostly like the black, but you can get that one more notch on like a metallic highlight. See Decker, hello, how are you? That's right. Look at this content. Oh. Hey, random username, welcome in. I'm playing Logbox at the back of the other closet. Yeah, I have a giant tub. I should show you guys. It's basically like once I started doing the sales, they all go in there to die because I haven't painted any of them. Black with gold trim, the purple spot color, but ugh. Yeah, I think if you can get that kind of last metallic highlight, or if you go up with the purple. See, Decker, how's your weekend? What you up to? Okay. Let's start with... I think I'm going to straight up use the skin color we used for the Possessed. Because it's creepy and it works up nicely. I'll take that. We might take that, actually. Or maybe that. I can't decide. I need to find a new Rakarth flesh. I think that's going to be the stickler. Because if I don't have a nice one, then I'm not sure what to do. Okay, that's enough to start with at least. You're hungry? Could be the fact I woke up after going to bed at 8 a.m. My goodness. Your sleep cycle's out of whack. Well, I hope you can get that fixed if you need to. Back where you want it. Let's see, what's the reason for the black? So due to them being close to the Emperor, treat the black like it's fair degree. They're gold, but the environment is tarnishing the armor. That's kind of neat. They're the ones that guard the special cells in the palace. They just said on Drop Frames that twisted metal is actually good. I'll make sure Scott knows that. Oh, you're okay. I don't know if you'd stepped away. Like, did they all agree to that? Did everyone say it was pretty good? I think they're really just justifying the color scheme. I like that they had some other schemes you could go with for the Custodes. Like, I know the gold's the classic, but it's nice to have some other schemes. It's kind of like when people do different, like, Stormcast and stuff, too. It's kind of nice to see other stuff. Alright, I'm rocking, this is Bugman's Glow for all of our squeedly bits. We're going to shade it down and then highlight up and blend is the plan. Just to make it look kind of like irritated skin grossness. I use this on a lot of Chaos Marines and stuff. We're just going to stick with it. We're talking Custodes lore and my internet goes out. Will, tell us about the Shadow Keepers. We need to know. We need to know. I think after we get all this base coated, and there's a lot of overlap, we'll get the creams on his little, like, I don't know what it's called, little frill around his neck. I think that's also what we'll use on the inlay. But that will be after we get our browns worked out. Just so we can highlight without having to worry about touching those back up. I'm glad you're back, Will. Welcome back. Did everyone enjoy story time? I feel like I just want to bring, like, the rest of the bosses on so we can read all the stories together. Because it's fun. I like that, like, starting Kingdom Death, there's a story you read along to. Kind of similar to that one. They have Satan in jail on Terra. Actual Satan. Between this and Gunborg, it's kind of nice to get back to Kingdom Death, too. It's been a little bit since we worked on some Kingdom Death. I tried to get that Easter one done for Easter, and didn't have great luck. I kind of set it aside after that. Nice to be back. Work on some creepy stuff. Citation needed. Avian's like, I need more for our impromptu lore lesson. Going to your library to find it. Perfect. Thank you. That's the energy we needed. I appreciate it. You finish your first boss. You can reach your next boss fluff? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if we go in order, I already have the lion is done. And the antelope is done. I think technically you can swap out Gorm at that point, and Gorm is not done. We should work on Gorm. He sits upon a golden throne. Oh. Oh, I see. Thank you, Exalted. She was so much fun. For anyone who may be coming in for Kingdom Death, I also posted her. This is the perfect segue. On my socials, if you want to check her out. She's on Twitter and Instagram. She's not on TikTok just yet. I think I need to record a few TikToks today. But here is the art for her. She's beautiful. So I had to start her, like, immediately. This is actually the same sculptor. If you guys remember, I think it's Astri the Promised, that larger one I had. Same sculptor. So kind of a similar vibe. But then here she is. There's that. And then her very creepy sword, which is making me giggle. And I think I'm going to tone it down so it doesn't look so much like this is a nose. Because if it's a nose, it's a very derpy looking sword. But as of right now, that's where it's at. And this will connect kind of behind her when it's done. But yeah, I kind of got in the groove on Friday and I just got working on her because she was fun. I needed a break from the salamanders and she was pretty, so it happened. And then Scott helped me pick a color for the cloak because you can see she's a very dark art. There's not a whole lot of different colors in there. So I decided to rock the burgundy. So it's not quite done, but wanted to tie it into her hair color and everything. But yeah. This is Gunborg. So there is Gunborg. And then her creepy sword is the Globensnarfer. Which is unique, sentient, cursed, and a blood eater. So kind of relies on the bleeding tokens from the mechanics. So the small version comes with the game art, or the little sword. I don't think the large does, which is kind of annoying, if I'm honest. I think they should both come with it. But there is this version and then the artist version, which is the larger. Derp caliber, exactly. It does snarf the goblins. Yep. Look, as Insta, I recall he did. Oh, Barbarian Lucy too. It's fun finding the sculptors. I think, yeah, my favorite was the person that did the Stone Wrecker also does the Blushing Owl. It was fun to torture Will with. I like having this information. I think you cannot immediately do your models. I do have a waitlist, true. Because of the waitlist, I get to move to my stuff. It's really nice. So thank you, everyone. Norman says, important service announcement. The first tub of Vallejo ground texture ran out after 2 years. Somewhere around 200 models based with it. That's pretty awesome. Welcome back, Reaper. How was the dog park? Thank you, Avian. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Alright, back to Slenderman. Back to our creepy... I'm gonna try and keep... I realize how much of my work gets pretty saturated. I'm gonna try and keep him a little more desaturated, a little more creepy. I like to go to that high contrast. And a lot of the stuff I paint, that's what I do. So I'm gonna try and tone it back a little bit this time. I'll tone it down a little bit. I don't want it to not feel like me, but I want it to be a little different. Matt Scythe, welcome in. How are ya? Reaper says, lots of good doggos. Moko is a very barky mini schnauzer, but she adapts very quickly. think we are getting one kind of nearby here soon, and we will probably take... Miss Sadie still has to have her her spay appointment, but when she's all recovered, take her up to also go be Bork Monster. I think she'll enjoy it. I feel bad that she wants to be friends with Molly so bad, and Molly is just so much older. She's not interested in playing. Plus, has never had another dog in the house, so... Unfortunately, not a good matchup here, but maybe make some friends at the dog park. I'm sure it'll be chaos. Well, that's okay. As long as she has fun with the chaos, it's okay. Let's see, this week on stream, I'm trying to think what we're gonna have. I'm gonna be finishing Salamanders. I don't know that they'll be on stream though, because we have the Contemptors to finish, the Storm Raven to finish, Vulcan to finish. The Impulsor we're still building, so I don't know when that's gonna be ready. We do have Eldar characters we can work on. I may bring those on. And we have more Nids to work on, but they also need some airbrushing. So that's what I've got. The Seraphon also need airbrushing. That's kind of the other project I need to really get started on. Is there anything you guys would want to see this week? Any of that sound particularly interesting, chat? I think I had one request to bring Nids back on last week. Someone was asking if they'd be back. Seraphon or Nids? For the Seraphon, we've got, it'd be the Warriors. I do need to do airbrushing, so it wouldn't be tomorrow, but potentially Tuesday. Nids, we have a whole mix of stuff. You're just picking for the VODs, yeah. No, I appreciate it. I'll be honest, Nids are also doing very well with YouTube and things, so it's good to stay on them here for a bit, so. Termagants. I don't know what to do with my new ones. If I just keep them, and if I decide I want more, or if I want to replace. Won't be for a bit, though. I'm very glad I've already done my Termagant time. I did go through, though, the big tub that I had all my Tyranid in. So now I have a much better look at what still needs to be done. I found the head for my Haruspex, so we could work on a Haruspex if you guys wanted to, for more gribbly face bugs. I have another Hive Tyrant that I think I'm going to have walking, because we're finishing the Flyrant. But again, you get airbrushing done. I don't know, I'm just talking out loud. Cujo, welcome in, how are you? New the Termies at the weapon options when they come out. I've already painted like 50. I think I'm good. How are you? Welcome on in. We were working on Salamanders. So here's one of our Contemptors we were working on. We've now moved to Slenderman, which is from our sub Sundays. So people wanted to see some creepy Kingdom Death, and that's what I got today. Welcome in. Everyone needs to learn how to do Termagants. If you do want to show them simply, effectively, might get views on YouTube. True. I do think, I've seen some people doing, like, the contrast Nids. Mine are airbrushed, so I wouldn't do my scheme, but... It's a good thought, though, Avian. You're right. You're right. Lots of people hopping in with bugs. Let me get one more brown. I need a brown before what I've got and the highlight I'm looking at. I also want to do a video for my hive scheme, or my hive fleet, but trying to figure out how to do that with the airbrush. Because I don't have like a mobile camera that I can move over. So it might be just masking off my desk for a day and doing that, because I've done that before. Kujo says, I need to decide what I want to work on next. The 6 Aggrodon Lancers and the old one, or the Spawn of Kotek. I love the Lancers, so that'll be my vote. Chat, any votes? Hi, Fleet Om Nom Nom, that's right. I want to do a, I've had a lot of questions about them, so I'm going to do the thing. If you guys like that scheme, it is already on Patreon. I've had some requests for YouTube. And if I'm going to give up my color scheme, it's going to be on YouTube. Well, I'll drive people that way. The YouTube video with NIDS in contrast. Compare your method to something similar in contrast. As in something else I've done in contrast? Sorry, trying to understand what you're telling me here, Bill. Because the only other thing I have in contrast is my Skaven. I don't use it a whole lot. Golf clap for Patreon mention, yes. I think I'm going to bring Kabanda to Patreon as well. But yeah, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying, Bill. As in, figure out something similar to your scheme. Oh, with contrast. Show both method and then the end results. That could be interesting. Yeah. Here is airbrush. If you don't like that, here's contrast. Or if you don't want to buy an airbrush. Could be interesting, yeah. Especially because contrast was not out yet when I was working on my bugs. A big reason why they are airbrushed was to save me a whole bunch of time. Alright, so I'm highlighting my brown a bit. I guess layering. We did, the first color that I really like is from Vallejo Model Color. It is, I think it's German Camo, black brown. It's very similar to Dryad Bark, but Vallejo, so you get a little bit more for your money. Dries nicely like that. I'm coming back with Gorthor Brown now. And just kind of picking out our layer here. Get all the different layers of his cloak. We layer the layers. But leaving our shade. Guess we need to decide if we're doing I think we're probably going to do another YouTube stream on Wednesday. So if anyone is enjoying the YouTube streams, try to have something fun over there again this week. It's been really good for watch hours, so thank you everyone who's been coming by. I need another chip break here in a second. Oh, here we go. William says, 9th edition Custodes Codex mentions a one above the fell, and in McNeil's Morning Star, Magnus fights a warp entity on Terra, known as Shaitan. Thank you for that. Which also called itself the Lord of all the Fell. Citation provided. The Custodes have Satan in jail. Thank you for referencing your source. I appreciate it. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Today I learned. I like lore time with Will. Will teaches me things, and he also throws in memes sometimes, which is fun. I like memes. You're missing your 9th ed codex? Uh-oh. In the cell. Nitpick. Uh-oh. Avian's here to to fight your lore time. Okay, I'm gonna have a couple more chips. think this is working so far. I think he's already suitably pretty creepy. Get you some chips, mouse bait. Norman says, Tyranid bases for the combat patrol are ready. Decide to go simple, terrain paste, gravel, crystals. I think for Tyranids especially. Yeah, keep it simple. You're gonna have so many little gaunts and things that keep it nice and easy. All right. Back to work. They are barbecue flavored. So they are baked barbecue. They're pretty good. I'm a little sad you don't get a whole lot. Like, obviously I've had some already. You don't get a whole lot in the bag, but... But it keeps me from eating too many chips on my diet, and it is 110 calories. And 2 grams of protein, so I'll take that. That one's actually a part of a pack that has a couple baked chips. There's baked Cheetos in there, which are actually pretty good too. And then I think it's Smart Food popcorn. Yeah, classic packaging, half air. I felt like even more so with these, but whatever. It helps me from not accidentally having 2 servings of chips when I'm supposed to be having 1 serving of chips. Let's see. Broke down, built the termagants from Leviathan. Was going okay. 1 more, and then the arm fell onto my big tub of bases. Son of a... And I was never seen again. Protein, that's right. Now that I'm back to tracking Replay, I've been better about my protein. So far, still the 8 pounds down, plus whatever of muscle I've put on, which has to be at least 1 pound. I don't wanna overguess, but I have to have put on at least 1 pound of muscle at this point. Sorry, 2024 Nikki, no Lumineth for you. Did you already sell them? Thanks. I managed out here wheeling and dealing. Mousebane wants them. They're going to a very good home then. Good, I'm glad. I suggest stopping creatine. I thought about it, but with my other goal is weight loss. I don't know if that would hurt me, but seeing the extra retention there. Do you think I should? I also can't get, like, too pricey with supplements and things. I am still self-employed. I'm encountering a different kind of scale creep. For what, Mousebait? Sorry. Do you mean with Sigmar things? Oh my god. Sadie jump scare. Oh, I see. The scale numbers keep creeping up. Sorry. Right after the Lumineth, I got confused. That's, yep. Yep. It's not fun noticing that scale creep. Not fun noticing that one. No, you're good. I'm with you now. Let me check my Kingdom Death collection so I don't double dip. Speaking of scale creep, I should start weighing myself again. Do it, Bill. Do it. The other thing I did this time is I took measurements so that when I reach 10 pounds down, I'm going to see all my, like, my arm measurement, my hip measurement, all that. See where all that comes out. I'm curious. What else? Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome everybody coming in. We are working on something spooky right now. We're working on Slenderman from Kingdom Death. Earlier, we were working on some salamanders. We had some dreadnoughts. So we have two very different projects today, all in one long stream. How was your stream? What were you up to today? Is that Commander Jupe? Welcome in. How are you? See, Nikki's still broken up. I'm so... 2024 Nikki. In shambles. In shambles. Yeah, so we read a very creepy story time, because when you have the expansions, they do come with a storybook that also shows you how to set up the encounter. So we had spooky story time, and now we're painting along. But yeah, how was your stream? What were you up to? Chat, if you're looking for some more Warhammer content, go follow that stream. Go check it out for me. We'll find out what they were working on today. Oh, Pazentios, thank you so much for that sub, for 20 months of support. Let's get some love and hype in the chat for Pazentios. How's your weekend? Let's see, stream is good. Completed, ooh, a Chaos Biker. Got good work done on some Eldari characters. Chat, you know what to do. Go check out that biker. Go check out those characters. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Everyone coming over with the raid. What are we working on? Does he actually have a tie? I think he does. Well, that's got to be a red tie, obviously. We got a Slenderman, the Slenderman here. But yeah, we switched over some spooky painting today. I've seen the Slenderman sculpt. Oh, on Etsy. It's neat to see it's actually being painted. It's great. Yeah, this is a expansion for Kingdom Death. So once you've kind of played through the campaign, you can bring in other expansions and things. And he is one of them you can add to your campaign. I've not played him. I don't know how awful he is gameplay-wise, as far as like how scary he is to fight. But he looks cool, and he's been on my shelf for a long time, so trying to get some work done on him today. But thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. Sydney says, pretty lazy. Just got home from being on the road for a week, struggling to get back to housework. I mean, that'll do it. I can say that travel wears me out, so I understand. A whole week, too. Alright, we'll have to blend this later. I'm going to go ahead and just sketch in this later. Well, welcome in. We're happy to have you. Hopefully, we can get some of that housework done. It's not fun being behind on all that for very long. So hopefully you can get caught up here. We will be on for probably another 2 hours-ish. If you want some background noise while we do that. Or while you do that, sorry. But yeah, welcome in everybody. It is a sub Sunday, which is why we have a longer stream today. You guys are already almost halfway to another sub Sunday. So thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate it. But if you guys like the long streams, that counter is right below my face. Thank you, thank you. I'll say it again for our our chat regulars. I switched it to bonus stream so that if we wanted to do a YouTube stream of something, we can. If we want to keep it on sub Sunday, we can. But it would be a bonus stream of 3 hours when we unlock it. Whatever we decide to do with it. I still want to check out some gamings. I'm a little sad. Baldur's Gate's at the end of the week after my normal streams. But we'll see what we do. Let's see, one spot I want to touch up on the gribbly bits here, and then we'll shade all this. Still need to decide on our stripies, but I think the rest is coming together. Because I think the black and white stripies would also work. So it just depends on how we feel overall for them, I guess. think it got buried by Final Fantasy XIV news, but if you wanted to see the global launch times for Baldur's Gate, I threw that in the Discord too. I think it is 10 a.m. Central for me. So if you guys are wanting to hop in right away. Gonna be a very nerdy weekend coming up for me. I've got Baldur's Gate I want to play. Evo is next week. And both of my D&D games meet next week. So it's all nerd all the time for me next week. After nothing this week. It's all or nothing. And then Gen Con is going. Oh god, Evo. Yep. I'm pretty excited. Now that I know a fair amount more for Street Fighter, I'm excited to watch. I have a better appreciation for everything going on. How new is Mist from Kingdom of Death? She was a couple sales ago, I think. So not the one with Gunborg, but either the one before that or two before it. She is the newer one. Yeah. Arctic Turtle, welcome in. Thank you so much for that sub. For 14 months of uwu. How are ya? How's your weekend? Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome back, Snezok. We are painting, this is Slenderman from Kingdom Death, and I'm trying to keep him kind of desaturated and very spooky. But here's where the Contemptors ended up. So obviously still have some highlights and stuff for them, but we got a lot of progress done. Creatine's great, many positive effects. Fairly cheap supplement, particularly the monohydrate versions. There was a shortage not long ago that bumped up the price, but a lot of places have readjusted. Maybe I'll look into it again. I don't know. I will have to see what said effects are, I guess. See if it's worth it for me at this point. Trying to be careful. Found out I have some duplicates. The good part is, Avian, if you do have duplicates, they're usually pretty easy to sell. Because there's people that'll be looking out for them on eBay or in trade groups. If you have duplicates that you want to sell, reminder, you can throw them in the Discord too. Got a few people who like to paint Kingdom Death in there. It's always, I know. I completely understand. Thank you, Reaper. I think I'm struggling, Reaper, a little bit with, I want to build the muscle, but I also want to see that scale move a little bit before I focus on it, if that makes sense. But if the positive effects are kind of all together, then I'd probably start it sooner. If that makes, I don't know if that makes sense. Arctic Turtle says, just a lazy weekend. Getting mentally prepped for the starter box challenge. Let's go. How quickly do you think you'll end up finishing yours? I don't know. The hard part for me, Arctic Turtle, is the batch painting. So when I get to those 10 Marines on top of commissions, that's when I probably, that's probably the wall that I will hit. But my plan is to do it on stream so you guys can watch and hobby along. We can combat patrol together. You can probably make some money back, yeah. Agreed. I have some extra Kingdom Death. A friend gave me some of her boy toys. Dude is definitely spoopy. Love him. Thank you, Mousefate. I think he's starting to come together. I think the plan I had in my head is working better than I thought it would, so that's good. None of these are limited edition, though none of the boxes with one of X type. Oh, the like first print. I don't know how much that makes a difference with price, but yeah, if it's something that's not like in the store right now, you can make a little bit of money off that. I think it then boils down to, do you want to list it at eBay rates, or do you want to... A lot of the like swap groups will do just the retail price. So obviously whatever you want to do, but find the group that, or the place where you want to sell at what you want to sell it. It's a little different from Warhammer in that you have limited things. keep that in mind. Sorry, I'm having to thin down this Screamer pink. Okay. Back to shade. And so at a price or a tad lower due to shipping. Got some YouTube video on a bunch of rare Kingdom Death minis, all kinds of crazy stuff. Probably from the first Kickstarter. There are some weird ones in there. I'm pretty excited for Gambler's Chest coming. Probably drop in the Discord first, yeah. Maybe, need people willing to scoop them up. I think Roll Will was looking for one of the more rare ones. I don't know when it actually was part of it, but yeah, post away. Some of them, predated the Kickstarter. That was before me. I think I only heard about it when, like, people started to get their Kickstarter. And then I was like, wait, what is all this? What do you have? So I am a late backer on the next one. So I will have Wave 3 and 4 of the expansions, and then Gambler's Chest. Which is essentially a new game at this point. There's so much content. just kept adding more and more stuff to it. It's hard to price Warhammer stuff. The $60 Outrider is the same sprue as it is in Indominus. It's basically throw it in a big box. That's for sure. That'll be next month's challenge. We'll do our combat patrols, and then we all paint Kingdom Death. Will's gonna love it. Chainbreaker Lance 2, the armors are essentially $10 a piece in there. You showed me the birthday models. I thought it was cute. It is cute. It is a cute model. I'm glad they did something for it. The only thing I really dislike about the new kits with melee weapons, there's no heavy options like fists or thunder hammers, such as the Outriders. It is a little different coming from what we know of previous editions. Kingdom Death Month? I still have one guy sitting here half painted. No, I wouldn't do that. Would it be fun? Yeah. There'd be like 3 of us, though. There are hunky boys to paint. There are male pinup models. I still need to paint mine. I got one all primed, and then I hobby butterflied away. I think now that mentally I'm in a better spot with hobby, maybe now we get back to them. He is looking creepy. Pretty easy. Pretty easy to get him to creepy stage. Alright, you guys know the drill. While that dries, we'll come back to his coat. I don't know what to call this. Coat? Nothing lewd about dudes, Will. That's right. Nothing lewd about those. Totally safe. Alright, on top of the Gorthar, I'm going to try some Baneblade. This will probably be our final highlight for him. Ghostly, welcome in. How are you today? We're doing well. We started the day with some salamanders. So here are the contemptors we were working on. Now we've switched to something spookier. Now we're working on Kingdom Death, which is a board game. And this is one of the boss encounters you can have. This is Slenderman. He's got all of his very gribbly bits coming out of his coat there. But yeah, welcome in. How's your weekend? What are we up to? They're just manly men, you know, doing men stuff. Sorry. Eric, welcome in. I would love some well-painted, hunky, underdressed fantasy male minis on my gaming table to flip some stereotypes. Kingdom Death. I'm trying to remember how many there are. There's, what, 4 or 5 of the male pinups? They're fantastic. And there is a larger scale, too. So they have, like, one of the... they have the regular size and then the scaled-up version for, like, an artist proof, almost. They're fabulous. Welcome on in. How are you? It's one thing I really love about Kingdom Death, is you get both. It's the best. Oh, the Manhunter. There might be others, but there's interesting pose. Yeah, there's some good ones. A Conan analog? I don't know off the top of my head. I'm excited for Gambler's Chest coming because there's a definitely not Guts from Berserk in it. And I want to paint him. There's also the Monster Hunter crossover. Little Palico. It's pretty cute. But yeah, I think definitely not Guts is going to be top of my list. Or near the top. Halloween set definitely didn't have a bodybuilder dude in a cat bikini. That's right. Definitely not. Those Halloween ones are so fun. I invested into more Warhammer on the weekend. I picked up a travel case and a Canoptic Doomstalker for the Necrons. Awesome. Sounds like a good weekend then. Very productive. Glad to hear it. There's a Conan board game from a few years ago. A lot of great minis in that. Met the theme. Also caused cries of outrage at the same time. Well, there you go. Another option to look at there, Avian. The other mini I really want to work on, and I want to start early so I don't have to rush it, is the Halloween Satan on her jack-o'-lantern. That's full of what I'm going to make gummy genitalia. Trying to put this as good with TOS as I can. I want to paint that this year. I've had it. William says, alright, I'm not driving anymore. Let's check on how Slender Scott is like, ah! Pretty good, right, Will? I think we hit creepy pretty early. Pretty early. Which is good. How are you? Why is it fleshy? It's gonna get even better. Even better. Yeah, the gummy worms. I'm gonna paint them as gummy worms. Cannot complain about odd poses due to so many male sculptors putting female models in, well, weird poses. Yes, Will. I'm waiting for your critique here. I want the owl back. Yes. We did it, chat. We did it. People want the owl back. It's all downhill from here. I've done it. I've peaked. I've peaked. Mission accomplished. There you go. There's the owl. Thank you, Exalted. Thank you. The issue with Conan is Boris Vallejo's standard is not what the book describes him. And that's why we got Arnold as him. I need to decide as I look at him more here. He's got like this kind of lace frilly that I don't know would match the off-white or if that needs to be a different color. I don't want to go too many colors. I like how he's coming along, though. The fact that he has a tie that we can make red, I also like. So, that's fun. Eric says, okay, I might have to order a pair of these pinup males from Kingdom Death. Too fun. Even though I have an unpainted backlog, that is embarrassing. Yeah, I'll go back to the fact that I have just a tub of nothing but Kingdom Death. So you're among friends here. Just now realizing those aren't actually in the tub. So I have the tub plus some, because they're on my bookshelf. I just went all in on the pinup boxes. So those are even more backlog for me. Right, is he front and back of the same? Oh, the classic like superhero pose. Yes, that is how all women stand, like this, like that. Oh, hobby time at Healy's, welcome in. We are working on. Sorry, I've got spoopy today. We're working on Slenderman from Kingdom Death. Earlier, we were working on some salamanders, so we have a sub Sunday, which is a long stream today. And we're tackling both. How was your stream? What were you up to? Look at all that hobby love coming in. Isolfist, hello. Sith Panda, hello. Verity and Cakes, Hobby Time at Healy's. Epic, hello. Disco Magma. Hobbies with Newbie, hello. Zat Maggots, hello. How we all doing? I hope you guys are ready for a spoopy. Super Weasel Steve, hello. But yeah, so I guess before we get back to Slenderman, we started with salamanders. We actually have 2 Contemptor Dreads that we were working on. This is part of a larger salamander force that we've been chopping our way through. Other than that, I've also been working on my Tyranids lately. So for 10th edition, I've been leaning hard into my Nids. This is my custom Hive Fleet. This is Hive Fleet Om Nom Nom. And that's some of what we've been working on. Loving the spoopy and the salamanders. How was your stream? What were you up to today? Thank you so much for that raid. Chat, you know what to do. If you want to check out some more mini painting, some more Warhammer content here on Twitch, go give Hobby Time at Healy's a follow for me. Thank you, I appreciate it. Hey, Sylvis, how have you been? It's good to see you. Om nom nom, that's right. You can have a fun name to go with the fun bugs. That's right. Yeah, who else is working on Leviathan boxes? Let's see, what else have we had? I feel like people still working on Shatterpoint. Trying to think what more recent projects people would have. What's everyone got? Pretty well, thanks. Staying cool in the Dallas heat. I'm glad. It's been rough. We had to do some fence repairs yesterday morning. And I'm glad the humidity is not as bad as it was a couple weeks ago. Or we would have been melting. Gunshrimp, welcome in. How are you today? Thanks everyone for coming over. I came in with the raid, was in a Fortnite match. Well, did you win? Are you winning, son? How goes the Fortnite? Welcome, welcome. We're happy to have you. Been on Seraphon. I'm excited to get back to mine. I got a little stumped how I want to do the little chargers. But when we come back, I'll get them worked up. You did win that one. Congrats. I have never played Fortnite. It's my gamer confession. I've never played. Now, so it says, the cat stole a mini from my Adepticon swag bag. Just found it under the couch with the other toys. They're like, it's our backlog now. on by the cat. No worries. I was just asking how your stream was, what you're up to today. And then again for my chat. If you want to check out some Warhammer content, go follow the stream. How is the kitty cat? Hamza clearly wants to learn how to paint. He's trying to eat my brushes again. It's the brushes, the minis. Little bit by little bit. It's the cat's hobby now. I, for one, look forward to see what Hobbs has planned. I believe Milkshake has owed lots of pets for being so cute on stream for 3 whole years. I agree. Extra pets. Big agree. Stream was lovely. I was about to ask. Celebrating 3 years on Twitch today. Was painting up silliness and smiling. I'm so glad. Congratulations on 3 years. That's awesome. Well, there you go, chat. If you too want to go celebrate, go follow that stream. Go check out Milkshake the cat. I still love that name. It's the best. Little Milkshake. He is indeed. He gets all the pets good. Glad to hear that. Alright, I do want to go a little bit darker with shading. He needs some, like, black lining. I'm gonna just straight up thin down some black. And, yeah, we need some separation on this cloak. I'm paying the hobby tax. I have all these Tyranid sprues. I don't know which is which. If there's anything we can help with, let us know. I probably should have done this before some of our highlights, but oh well. It's getting done now. Yeah, 3 years is great. Congrats, congrats. That is super exciting. We do love us a celebration stream. Draco, thank you so much for that sub. For 9 months of support. I really appreciate that. Hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and hello, how are ya? Sorry, I don't want to pull you out of lurk if you're lurking. How's your weekend? Gundrum says, me and Stormbringer, so many sprues, not enough attention span. For anyone who may be coming in, we're working on some Kingdom Death right now. So this is Slenderman. He is a boss encounter for Kingdom Death. Trying to keep him super spoopy. I've not actually played against him, like as a boss encounter. So I don't know how scary he actually is. But we did read a spooky story about him earlier, and he seems pretty scary. Getting late. Voice chomping the bit. I'm gonna get off. Trounce his tail and Commander again. Let's do it, Mousebait. Enjoy. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. We'll see you later. Let's see. Draco says, having a good weekend catching up on some yard work. I've been falling behind on nice. Good to get that knocked out. We had to do a bit of that yesterday, so I know how it goes. Repray. Yes. What's up? Ominous tag in chat. What's up? Trying to think what else is going on. Yeah, for anyone coming in, we've been working on salamanders. I guess the other thing we started on Wednesday over on YouTube's was Vulcan. So that's my other character that I'm working on for the salamanders. They're such a fun army to work on. I love the color scheme. I love that we got some vehicles and characters with this batch. So it's been fun. And then this week, I think we're going to... Oops. Probably get our Tyranids back on. And then we have some Seraphon to work on. And bring back the good boy. Do you need emotional support, Vulcan? There we go. Vulcan's for 30k. It is, yeah. So that is part of the Forge World character series for Horus Heresy. That's right, Vulcan lives. I need him to balance out that. Alright, emotional support Vulcan is here. Well, we paint our Kingdom Death. He is here. I'm so glad. So glad we want the Alpic. Yeah, so for anyone coming in, I don't remember if this was before or after the raid. I'm doing some black lining just to add a little bit more depth. We had a nice dark brown, but I feel like he needs a little bit more. Just kind of set him off. All of our layers. Other than painting, I'm excited for Baldur's Gate 3, which is coming out this next week. I started playing Halls of Torment the other night, which has been a lot of fun. If you're someone like me who lost a lot of their life to vampire survivors, you'll like Halls of Torment. That's kind of it. Just watching some anime. And now painting Kingdom Death. Which I think we need to start our creams. I pulled out. I wonder if Steel Legion's the way to go, or if we just go straight to Rakarth. I think Rakarth and the up might be the way to go. Let's try it. I'll freely admit, all I know about Slenderman was that the horrible attempted murder case. I remember that, yeah, to appease Slenderman. The mini's pretty impressive though, yeah. It's obviously there's some inspiration pulled, but as far as like actual, I don't know, myth or whatever, I don't know what you'd call it. I don't either. He is a creepy mini though. That's about the extent of mine as well. I've been playing Final Fantasy 16. What do you think? I was playing it, and then I put it down for a little bit. I'm having a hard time getting back to it, unfortunately. I think some of the things they did in it is really cool, but I don't know. I also think I need to find a new Rakarth flesh, and it makes me sad. This is I'm really fighting this pot of paint here. And we use it for the skin tone too, so let me actually start with that. So we can thin it out. But we're gonna need another pot for, I think, the inlay and stuff. If I only get a little bit of it, it's not gonna work very well. You anyone else playing any fun games? I know we talked a little bit video games earlier, but for anyone who may have come over with that raid, what have we got? Alright, as we highlight up the squeedly bits, it's going to be anything with a top edge, or where some of them are overlapping. This is where I'm kind of focusing on. I need to decide what class I want to play for Baldur's Gate. If I try to figure out something now, or if I just let it rock and pick what sounds fun the day of. My friend with whom I played Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 suggested we take a day off work to play Baldur's Gate 3 on release day. She wasn't entirely joking. That's going to be so much fun. Wow, that's awesome. Because those are long campaigns. To have played those together, that's really cool. I love the idea of that, but I'm scared to commit that much time. But I guess if you make it your D&D campaign for the week, it's not too crazy. liking it. Nice to see Square making their games more active. Also, Torgal is best boy. Torgal's pretty great. One thing I do want to kind of praise 16 on was the, like, accessibility items. So, like, you can put on the things to, like, help with evasion and help with the dog attacks and help with things like that. Obviously, you don't have to wear them, but for those who maybe have a hard time with the timing and stuff, it was a really cool way to do that. I was really impressed with that. It's great they labeled the sprue number order in the build instructions and not on the actual sprues. Isn't that fun? Finding things like that. I think I need to find this other... I'm hoping I have another Ratcross flesh in my drawers. Let me see, chat. I don't want to spend too much time digging for paint, but I really need this one. Here's another one. Let's hope it's better. Dog attacks? Yeah, you have a party member. What's a doggo? Torgal. Thanks, Reaper. Got it. Got it. I need to shake it, but I got it. Cheap angles are nice for learning new systems. Yeah, I think that was a really cool way to do it. Without, like, specifically saying, like, accessibility thing. I thought that was really cool. I'd like to see that in more games. I thought that was pretty clever. Please. Okay. It's still not great, but it's better than the other one. We can still highlight, so let's keep on cruising. I'm just worried about the... If I need to save the inlay, we'll do that another day. But I feel like we're getting a fair amount done for him. But yeah, 16 had some cool stuff. I'm sad I'm having a hard time getting back to it. We'll get there, though. Yeah, sick 'em, boy. Over and over and over. It's a good boy, though, so it's fine. Hey, Magnus, welcome in. So this is actually Slenderman from Kingdom Death. The salamander, this is Vulcan, who is part of the Forge World Horus Heresy line. So the full model has a display base. So the base altogether is like this. There is a gaming base that slides out. So that's what he actually sits on. And then this will wrap around here when we're done. And then he'll stand up here. And that's the full Forge World piece. So we were working on some salamanders earlier today. So we had the Contemptors. And then Vulcan. And now Slenderman. How are you today? Welcome on in. We're just hopping all over the place today. Yeah, I really love the display bases for the Forge World stuff. You can have like a really cool kind of mini diorama if you want. Is there anything you're working on? Any projects? We paint a lot of 40K here. But I also really love Kingdom Death for a campaign game. I've been working on some Malifaux. It's got a good mix of stuff here lately, which is fun. Hey, up here, welcome in. How are you? You Converts into a gaming. Yeah, normally I'm very eye-rolly about display versions because they're too hard to deploy on the table. The tough part is usually there's one, like this one, where it covers up where it slots in. So a lot of people will magnetize it. It kind of gets it's a little goofy. But yeah, if you have it sitting on the shelf, easy to take them out for a game. And then be able to put them back after the game. So that part is really, really clever. Ooh, a bloodthirster. Very nice. Welcome in. I recently did Cabanda, which was another very large 4-year-old piece. Seeing how large he is, now the price makes sense to me. He's a big boy. Big boy. Matt's like, what flavor of thirster? Blood? Just blood flavor. But yeah, welcome anyone may be coming in. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, we're just kind of nerding out for the day. Trying to get some projects off of my old backlog. So that when I do finally get to play Kingdom Death, we can fight Slenderman. Bloodthirster is small compared, yeah. It was huge, he is huge. I have a Bloodthirster that I probably should repaint. It's been a while. I think he's fine, but we could do some more to him. But yeah, Cabanda's gigantic. That's a big chunk of resin. So we finished about a dozen in patron townsfolk. Holy moly, they had so much detail. NPCs can take so long to paint. If you've got a lot of like different details on each of them, it's essentially, yeah, just 12 little character models you're doing. That definitely racks up some time. All right. I feel like I want to dip into more of a yellow cream for like the, I don't know what to call this. It's a little frilly. So I'm going to grab some Xandria dust also. Super fun to paint the Thirster. Big open pose. You can do all kinds of nice things with it. Which, he has weapon options, right? What did you go with? It's been a while. Those big pieces are, yeah, fun to sink some time into. Bloodthirster, Lord of Change. I've got a Demon Prince I was working on, the new kit. Not as big as those, but another fun one. And stop throwing paint. I did the two-handed axe, but a one-hand. Ooh. Very cool. I mean, I think he could, yeah. If anyone could do that, it'd be a Bloodthirster. Alright. I'm going to start with this, and then we will go to more of our off-white as we work up. I guess I need to figure out his little face, too. That I don't know what I want to do, if I'm honest. I almost want to work in like a blood-stained kind of look. Bring in some of the creepy effects there. I'm not sure. I kind of forgot I'd have to decide that today. I think today's stream is we just go as far as I can without, like, what I can decide on today. Everything else we can wait. Alright, I can already shop debone. Oh, I missed a spot. Alright. I think the head and the where I want the stripies is kind of our final things. Was that in a uh-oh, we sharing glamours? We're trying to find him a good paladin one, right? I can only assume that's what's happening. Bloodstain is hard since it looks like dirt. Better to make it dark red, even if not. Yeah, I think I would. Yes, you're absolutely right. I think I would lean more into the red. Because it's tough because he does have some of the, like, the details sculpted in. So I think that's what I need to play with a little bit and see how I want to do that. If we lean into what's sculpted and just make it creepier, or... I do have whole red, and I like that color a lot. I use that quite a bit. It's even within arm's reach. That's how much I like to use it. It's a very good color. But yeah, I think dipping into that red or bringing in some of this creepy skin color we've already got going might be a good way to do it. Might have that. It's a good color to pick up. Alright, there's a little bit of the inlay. Or embroidery? I don't actually know what to call it. And we'll just keep cruising. Okay, sorry. Couldn't see what was top design was. Trying to decide of each of these being... I'll do this trim, I think. I don't know if I want to go in between. Might be a little much. I'll leave it there for now. Can't decide. Might also switch to my newer brush. This is getting a little tough on these tiny ones. I need more of a tip. House Hawkshroud is yellow and white and black. It is indeed. Are you you looking at knights to add on? It's so obvious. Scott. It's like, wait. I have 8 or so reds, but not that one. It's a really nice mix of red and brown. I actually use it with a lot of skin tones, is when I tend to use it. You can take more unless you want to do a whole army. I was wondering how that worked, as far as, like, is it considered like an ally? Ally. Alright, I need a few more chips. I'm sorry for anyone who doesn't like the ASMR, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You can take 1 big or 3 small in any Imperium force. Okay, no point restriction. Now I'm hungry. And go get some chips, Bill. Or some excuse me, some popcorn. We're gonna end up with Pelican cases full of nights here soon. They're so good. I love chips. No! I'm trying to make sure I put the water further away after we knocked it over the boom arm the other day. I don't trust myself now. Oh! Just a single answer. And or maybe a warden. This is how it starts. Scott's already reading it. The warden was pretty good in the game we played. The lancer is also scary. Coming across the board at me. It took like all of my Carnifexes and then some to take it out, so. Lancer was scary. Warden did well. So some American stuff, crisps. I got some crisps. I ate a whole thing of popcorn watching Barbie last night. I probably don't need crunchy snacks today. I love popcorn so much. Popcorn's one of those snacks where I kind of forget about it, and then I get really, really hooked on it for a bit, and then I forget about it again. Right now, I love popcorn, until I forget about it again. Scott secretly has my hobby dollars, but doesn't want to paint you. I mean, he painted yellow on his little Thunderhawk. Thank you for reminding me. I haven't eaten today. Everyone, go get some chips. Or crisps, or whatever. Whatever we call them. Go get them. Because they're good. I'm wondering if this should be our cream color. I feel like the answer is yes. But then it's also against it here. I don't know. I'm being indecisive, chat, and I'm sorry. We don't talk about Epic here. No new game systems. Not for me. You guys can talk Epic. I'm good. I have enough games I'm not playing already. I will ask, though, since we've got some new friends in here today. Who is excited for new Epic? I used to have a popcorn maker. Ate it till I couldn't stand it anymore. Isn't Epic just rewritten Necromunda? So they're bringing Epic back. So Imperialis is the old Epic system, which is a much smaller scale. I believe it was 8 mil. That's what we came up with. I kind of promised to paint a Titus. Oh, when they came out with him for March for McCraig. I'll need a painting mentor. Are you available? Let's do it. I also need to do March for McCraig next year. Because it's really cool when Nick gets all organized. And I never have a project for it. This time, I need to do it. I need to do it. And you make detail painting look so easy, amazing. Thank you so much. If you have any questions at all about what I'm doing, let me know. Happy to help. Right now, it's a lot of just going through details that are already sculpted on. And then I'll come back and highlight and refine as we go. But trying really to see the full color scheme at this point. And make sure it's working. I think it is. I think it's creepy enough and contrasty enough to work. Hey, Burbaka, hello there. How are ya? It's good to see ya. How's your weekend? Oh, I want to have it to level so I can show up. Oh, and Warcom. Not like you at least want to get to that level. We can do that. I'm trying to think specifically for Titus. What would be the... what I'd recommend kind of looking into. Do you... and I think you said the airbrushes now already? Are you wanting to use that as part of it? America says, I'm doing okay. Oh, recovering from surgery, so just resting. I hope that recovery goes well. Thanks so much for coming to spend a bit of it with us. I hope everything good. Recover up and a follow-up visit. Sorry. Hope all that goes well. We are working on Slenderman from Kingdom Death. So this is one of the very spooky kind of boss encounters that you can have. We were working salamanders earlier today, so here is the Contemptor Dread. I just dropped on his back. So this is a good summary of our stream. A little bit of everything. But that's what we've got today. Welcome in. Sorry, the dog made a noise. Good try. Get back. Need to get the back hose attached to the window. Just make extra sure the paint hood is fully working. I think for Space Marine armor, I really like to use the airbrush. And then you get the time to spend on all the other little details. But it gives you that nice smooth coat to work off of for the armor. I think it would be a good project to mess with it. Dark Angel's potentially another good project for it. I finished up Expanse Book 3 yesterday. Really felt like a box of smoke afterwards, so wait till I start the next one. Oh, who am I kidding? Dive on in. You've already started, haven't you? Is anyone getting new nights? It looks like maybe Alive in Madness. How about you, Decker? You want a night? I can't decide if I want that the cream color or not. I'm going to say no for now. Keep moving. Speaking of Expanse, does anyone do the light novel? Tales something or other publisher? I don't know about that, sorry. For the people who are more knowledgeable than I did not start, but I did start newest season of Love, Death, and Robots. I do love that show. I think. Where's Puck? Do you need out, puppy dog? Part of me wants to release the gate and see how it goes. I could use a small stretch break. How about, yeah. I'm going to take 1 second to, we have a baby gate because we have a puppy. We're puppy sitting. I'm going to let her out. Just get up for a second. I could use a little stretch. You want out, Molly? Okay. Yeah. I feel better. Greedy, welcome in. How are you? Puppies for the puppy god. We're watching my mom's dog on top of our new puppy, and it's been a little chaotic. It's been a lot this week, and it's only been a few days. we got a few more to go here, but she's very sweet. My mom's dog is... You missed one! So Sadie is our dog. She's like 1.5 years. My mom's dog is 11 and is not interested in playing with our new puppy. So it's been interesting. But they're both very cute. Greedy, what you up to this weekend? You join us as we're working on some Kingdom Death. This is Slenderman. So one of the boss encounters. We were working on salamanders earlier, though. So there's our... I'm just going to leave them on screen. Why not? Why not? And I'm basically going here until the wheels fall off. Trying to get what we can of Slenderman. There's a few things I think I'm going to wait and probably do after stream. I need to figure out the head and then the stripy socks. I think everything else we can kind of finish together here. So that's exciting. I was lurking earlier, then went to mow. Is it as awful hot there as it is here? Wheels fall off. Chat's already crazy. Chat always crazy. It's true. I'm gonna go until I don't want to look at the sky anymore. But we've already been going how many hours? So... like back at 11? Yeah, we've already been live 5 hours, so... I'm used to 3, so we'll see how we do here. Oh, it's down to 85, so I had to go while it was cool. Yeah. 85, take a jacket, yep. Well, I'm glad you got a cooler day for it. I don't know if you're here lurking, but we had to fix part of our fence yesterday, and I was very grateful that the humidity wasn't as bad as it has been, so completely understand what you mean. Gotta get in while you can before it's back to stupid temperatures. Southwest USA has a week of like 110. Yep. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm in squirrel mode as well, and I still haven't had breakfast. This is your sign. Please go get some food. Though that is a good shout. If you guys have been here with us the whole 5 hours, please make sure you get food, water, stretch. Do all the things. Hey Terry, welcome in. How are ya? Sounds good, Isophus. You want a monsoon? Man, the flooding here would be insane. Everything's so dry. Doing good, glad to hear it. We're working on Spoopy today. I've got Slenderman from Kingdom Death. I'm wondering if we go ahead and paint his base black, just to get a real feel for these colors. The white oversprays. It's fine, but... been doing the painting and the stuff and the things. Glad to hear it. Welcome in. Glad we are painting, stuffing, and thingy. Yeah, maybe the newest part of the Gulf. It'd be pretty bad. We would flood pretty badly. Yeah. Hey Griffith, welcome in. East Texas just floods. Yeah, it'd be pretty rough. How are you today? To go from no rain to a lot of rain, that'd be bad. I have to figure out these other layers. This is where I'm getting stuck. Sorry, chat. Let me get our other cream color for another highlight, and we'll keep thinking about it. Doggo check. Hey Dave, welcome back in. How are ya? Let me find a paint real quick. Okay, here we go. Alright, we are now working on a Slenderman from Kingdom Death. This is part of our sub Sunday, so long stream today. Thank you, everyone. We are almost halfway to another long stream, so thank you, everybody. If you guys like the long sub Sundays, that counter is right below my face for a bonus stream. So thank you, thank you. A pile of mint Oreos counts as breakfast? I mean, it could. Breakfast of champions, I say. Always in mind. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Those are going out to Great Weirdling, Agu, Terry, Journeyman Paint Hour, and Dead Pixel. Enjoy those emotes and those subs from Wasted Mind. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, look at that. Now we're over halfway. Thank you, Wasted Mind. Terry says, I tried riding a bit ago. Today in Texas, one of those every motorcycle's air conditioner is broken kind of day. Normally I feel pretty good during my rides. Today was like standing in front of an industrial hair dryer in full blast, I can imagine. Ugh. A breakfast of champions, indeed. Okay, I'll go make real food. I don't want to take away from the goodness of Oreos. Maybe something with a little protein. I'll venture that out if you're looking. A little protein. Random in the room got hit, that's right. Thanks so much, Wasted Mind. I appreciate it. It's nice doing a sub Sunday again. It's nice. We're getting so much done today. I think between this and Gunborg, it's the most Kingdom Death I've painted in a while. Always weird when all the subs go to people not in the channel. I do like when it's someone like in chat. I know that can't always happen, but it is nice. Norman says, speaking of protein, I made my tofu lasagna today. Other than lasagna and tofu, it's about half a kilo of cheeses. So the tofu is just replacing like a sausage or something? Is that basically what you've got? I don't think I ever would have thought of it for lasagna, if I'm honest. Butternut squash lasagna. I wear my denim. How's that pronounced? Just cut? Jeans and a t-shirt, so plenty of breathability. Today's so spicy, even the Cajuns be like, oh, hell no. No, thank you. Yeah, I can only imagine just a face full of dry, hot air. No, thank you. I assumed it would prioritize people in here. I think there is like a little formula, but I don't remember what it is for who like gets a sub from the gifted. It's been a bit since I kind of rolled it out, so I don't remember. Basically, I used to make them with meat, but you got to do the whole prepare the meat step, and it's girlfriend's not a fan of meat, so we did some tests with tofu, and it works pretty well. But now I realize I forgot to put eggs in. Oops. Wait. Well, where'd the eggs go? I'm not familiar with this. Right, Terry. Agreed. Alright, there's that. I do want to get the creepy tie at least painted. Oh, that's another paint. Oh, wait. We'll just keep working on this back here. I don't think it's... I'm not super happy with how this is coming along, but we'll get there. It's going to be good enough, I think, is the what I'm going for. All the ingredients make a giant sauce of stuff. And then you layer it with the lasagna. Okay, eggs help add some stuff in there, but I'll get to them. I'll get them to them now. I was like, I don't have an egg layer in my lasagna, but I do like some eggs. I got scared the other day. I made those little egg muffins for my protein, and I forgot to spray the pan. But it turns out they didn't need them. But it was like, as soon as I put them in the oven, I was like, shit. But I lucked out, and I didn't need it. I came out of the pan. I was afraid they'd all be stuck in my muffin tins. Good enough is the perfect stopping point. Agreed. Well, we'll get what we can, and then that's going to be good for me. As long as he is sufficiently creepy from the front, I'm good with that. Good enough to enter Golden Demon. There we go. I'll take my Kingdom Death to Golden Demon. Judge, please. Judge, please. I love it. There's more other people that don't eat meat on the planet. And I'm conflicted. One side, yeah, exactly. More steak for you. Feel terrible all the displaced critters just so I could grow. Oh, I'll take the steak. I take. Tofu's pretty good, though. I like tofu, especially with soups. I love tofu soups. Norman says, I need actual hobby advice. My Citadel plastic glue thingy has full nozzle, and it's not really getting open, even with the needle. I'm not sure what else to do. Slenderman looking great. I'm hoping the owl returns, but I guess I missed out. Will was in here earlier, and he said he wanted the owl back because of this guy. So I think I win. Oh, stop it. Hey Delta, we had salamanders earlier today. So we started with our contemptors, and then we swapped to him for Sub Sunday. How are you? Welcome, welcome in. Victory, yes. Yes. He asked me, why is it fleshy? And then said he wanted the owl back. So I'm taking that as a win. Ooh, pan-fried marinated tofu? That sounds good, too. I think I would like that. Hey, look at that fella. Pretty good. How are you? Pretty good here. I'll be honest, I'm slowing down a little bit as we are on hour 5 of streaming. But we've made some really good progress. I'm trying to keep cruising for a little bit longer, at least. I think I am going to leave the socks for another day, just because I'm not really sure what I want to do for them. And then this back is just going to take me some time, because it's in between his creepy bits. It's just kind of hard to get to. So yeah, we'll just go until I need a break, and that'll be that. We will be back tomorrow, though. It will probably be more Warhammer. We should be back to probably Tyranids tomorrow, if I had to guess. But I will see. I probably won't hoppy today after stream, just because we've been going for like 6 hours. So I'll see what's kind of prepped and what we can bring to stream, and we'll go from that. Hey Alice, welcome in. How are you? Meowdy to you. How you doing? Wait, it's Dreadnought Height? What a wonderful proxy to send a let's see. It's Telltale series that has, which is on consoles and Epic Games. I thought on Steam. Wait, which one are you looking for? Is that The Expanse? Did I just miss something, Avian? Sorry. With those tubes, you need a .44mm needle to clear the tube. Found this out having a 3D printer, which requires the same cleaning method. Okay. Rotating the needle during the cleaning, which allows friction grabbing of sticky elements. Okay, there's some tips. Oh no, Bill says klutz mode today. I stabbed myself with a hobby knife earlier. I just got myself in the kitchen. No more knives today. No more. On the train to work. I hope work goes well. Thanks for tuning in from the train. Is there anything you're working on after work? Any minis on the table? Eric says, best mini painting advice I was given. A mini is table ready with only 3 or 4 colors. Do those first, layer the details, the shading, highlights, washes on stuff on top of a table ready mini. Yeah. Absolutely. I would agree with that, especially if you've got an event coming up. Get what you need for the event. and then come back if you want to. Nothing wrong with that. Get what you need to play and then come back. Because it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to take these things to games. So make sure you can do that. And then if you want to keep fiddling, keep fiddling. I also didn't realize that wouldn't be Steam, Avian. I would have assumed Steam. And so you took, a lighter and heated up. Whatever was in it was gone. Window open, no breathing and chemicals. Okay, I'm glad that worked. I guess another tip to add to what chat's got then. We're gonna, oh, Thundrix Profiteers, very nice. Well, welcome on in. I've been working on a lot of salamanders and my nids. And then the last couple days I've been working on some Kingdom Death because it's a nice break from more of the kind of army painting. I can only batch paint so much, you know, before I start to go cross-eyed. Trying to decide if my Marines are going to go traditional tracked vehicles or if I'm going to shell out the extra cash for a bunch of the repulsor tanks. I guess would it be a mix of the older stuff? The more I work on this back piece, the more I can't be bothered to like do more than a simple highlight on it. I'm kind of done at this point. Over it. You know what mini painting isn't fun? Painting Dark Souls minis. The dang chosen undead keeps foul rolling away from my brush. You need to work on those frames, Dee Dee. Make it so they can't. Reverse your frame issues onto the minis. You're welcome. Hot hobby tips. I'm scared of track vehicles going away. I think that's the tough part. Is like, I'd really like to get my Land Raider and stuff together. But at the rate we're getting things to Legends, I'm a little scared. I feel like more of the iconic stuff probably won't happen as quickly, but you never know. They killed the Hunter Stalker, yeah. Vindicators are very, very good, and they like to do that to thin inventory before killing kits. Rhinos and Razorbacks only carry tacticals and devs, yeah. I feel like in general, if you're looking at Marine stuff, going with the Primaris stuff is probably the safer bet money-wise. But, if you really like something like Land Raiders, like I do, then that's something to consider. You're right. Be right back. Super glued onto my desk like a true VS Souls boss would do. See? See? Here to help. Glad I could help. Then come to Heresy. I guess it's a good shot though if you also play Heresy. Maybe something else to consider. Heresy's cool. I just don't need another system. Before anyone's like, what's wrong with Heresy? Nothing's wrong with Heresy. I just don't need to play another system. I've got plenty. Oh, they don't kill. If they kill all those flyers as I hand them off, I'm gonna cry. I'm just gonna start sobbing. But that's I know they will get games, so that's better. Because that friend group plays a lot of games together. So, that makes me feel better about dropping them off. I forget if Elden Ring got a Steamforged board game. It was kickstarted, yes. If they did, I hope they make a mold for the Anky Bird so I can run a proxy army. They did. They're in there. Yep. Sorry, Exalted. We were talking about them earlier, Dee Dee. If they're in there, they're obviously coming to stream. We're obviously going to paint them. It has to be done. It has to be done. Those birds, man. Yes. People can have different tastes, which is why I banned myself. Alright, I feel like I can pick like one more thing to kind of work on for a little bit. And then that's probably all I got left in the tank, chat. It's been fun, though. Are we, I'll ask again. Do we still like the long Sunday streams? I'm gonna clean up what we did here. Since I was hating it. I need some cleanup. Lobster's fine, but the birds. I need to throw that screenshot I found in the Discord. If you fighting the lobster and slamming, I just watching. Because the motion blur on the lobster makes it the best. It's ready to fight. They're great, so long as you're cool with longer streams. Yeah. Yeah. I did change it, I guess, for any of my regulars coming in. We made it bonus stream in case we do want to do like a different day or over on YouTube or whatever. It gives a little flexibility. I also think it's more apparent for anyone who doesn't know what a sub Sunday is. So now you know that is the goal for bonus time. So hopefully that makes more sense. I would not have gotten through slowly patting a small bit of foam over a large tank without it earlier. I'm glad. I'm glad we get to hobby together. That's kind of the fun part, is if we pick like a bigger project too, we can get a lot of stuff done together. And what we've done in the past is I'll try and pick something bigger that like a 3-hour stream is just not enough time for. I'm glad the Rogel Darn got some work. Some Sunday too suggested. Let's try a Dom stream instead. There we go. That's right, you get mukbang chip content. I really wanted to make it the next half hour, but I think we're done here, chat. I don't think I can go on anymore. We got a lot done, though. If I had a better idea of what I wanted to do for the socks and stuff, I would probably keep pushing on, but I think I'm gonna wait. Wait to see if I want to bring in other colors. If we do the black and white, I just need to look at it. Pink flowery socks would be adorable. Because it's kind of, it's either the black and white or the, like, red and green. Very Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know if I want to bring in the green, I think. I think it might be too outside of our color. Of our color choices here. My daughter gave these socks to me. They give rerolls. I will probably get the Underworld routes. I might wait a little bit, Decker, just because we've got some other projects, but I do want to get them before they get thrown into the old Underworld vault. This is what Nikki does after normal link streams. We talk to the voices in our head instead of us. Yeah, pretty much. Here is, that's what we got done today. I'm pretty proud of that. Especially when there's 2 of these. That's a pretty productive stream, I think. So I'll give your mind some time to think about it. Maybe swap something else for a bit. I think you're right, but I think the answer is I step away for a bit. So thank you, everyone, for coming to hang out for Sunday stream, for Sub Sunday. You guys are already over halfway to another stream, which is great. So thank you so much for all the support. I will take some time to think about Stripies. And then we'll get him finished up. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. socials, if you guys want to see what else I'm working on. If you want to check out Gunborg that I was working on earlier, or yesterday, she's up on socials. We also have our Discord, which is our home away from home. If you want to share what you're working on, get stream updates, talk hobby news, all that good stuff, we're in the Discord. And I think that's all I've got, other than, I said, we've also revamped our YouTube. So we are trying to grow our watch hours and following over there. I'm going to have some videos here soon, and we're talking on some collaborative projects, so I'm pretty excited about that. But if you want to catch all that, we're over on YouTube. We've been doing Wednesday streams on YouTube, so if you want to catch those, there they are. I'm going to take a look at who's streaming. I don't know who is on right at this moment. It's been a little bit since a Sub Sunday. So if I just kill it here, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, we'll look for someone to raid. Thank you so much for the support. I love you guys, and we'll be back here tomorrow with more Warhammer. Bye-bye.